Now, I got this question from Patreon, and the question was, how do you enjoy having a full-time job outside of farming? Isn't that kind of stressig? As you probably know, most farmers have a part-time or a full-time job outside of their farm. And actually, in Norway, 60% of the farmers, they have a job beside being farmers. And 40% of all farmers are actually having a full-time job outside of farming. Then farming come in addition. And that's simply because it's not sustainable to work as a farmer right now in Norway. And I think for some it's a big reliability having to work outside the farm, because you still have to do what you have to do as a farmer, and there's simply not enough time, especially not if you have kids or you want to travel, or you have a lot of family spread around the country or even the world. So I understand the question, but here's the deal. I love my full-time job. Now, I'm quite lucky because I work as a chief marketing officer at an NGO, a non-governmental organization or a non-profit organization. And it's very flexible. I have home office 2 days a week. The rest I'm in the city at the office. And I'm really passionate about it. I'm passionate about fundraising, marketing, but also the cause that we do. And I have great colleagues. I love my colleagues. They are fun to be with. They are very, very hardworking people. They have a lot of experience and knowledge, and they kind of fulfill my competence and my lack of competence, so to speak. And I'm just very, very lucky with my colleagues, and truly blessing staying with them. That being said, if I got the choice to work more with the farm, I probably would have done so. But I would never quit my job completely. And it's not because I don't get any questions. I actually got offered 2 jobs the last year. And one of them, they were fundraising as well. But in the end, I just love my workplace now, so I think I would have chosen it again and again. And the reason is that it's quite flexible, which helps me a lot, especially around lambing and around the big gathering in the fall, because then I need to focus a bit more on the farm than I do on the everyday basis. So I'm quite lucky. I don't know how many farmers that would actually like to be full-time farmers. There's no data on it actually, but there is one survey from 2022 that shows that 25% of the farmers were planning to expand their production, which is lower than before. So let's say then that 1/4, like every 4th farmer would like to be full-time farmer. That also says something, right? That there are many people that would like to be full-time farmers and that are passionate about it, and all they really can think about is farm and their animals and everything. And I wish more of them could actually be full-time farmers, even though it's not for me. Now, the hard facts is, of course, that the farming is under pressure. I think it's everywhere. And in Norway, actually, from 1969 until 2020, the number of farms were reduced by 75%. It's crazy, 75%. It was, before we had 155,000 farms, and today, or in 2020, it was 38,600. So it means smaller farms. Now you might think that that also means that the farms that are left, they buy up all these small farms and create bigger farms. But the truth is, they don't. The truth is, yes, there are bigger farms, and some of the smaller farms are bought up, but a lot of the farms are just really empty. Nobody takes care of the buildings, nobody takes care of the land and the pastures. The animals are sold, so we have less animals, and it just starts to grow everywhere. And it's actually a huge problem in many places, because our land, it's dependent on this biological diversity, and that disappears when you don't have animal grazing there and doing that kind of stuff. So you get these monocultures of bacteria and other stuff. What happens is that more and more forest is growing up on the mountains, and the traditional mountain landscape that we have here is under pressure. It disappears because we don't have enough animals grazing in the mountains and in the highlands. So that is also a challenge in the long run, at least. So if it would help that more people would become full-time farmers, I'm totally for it. And I wish more people chose to be farmers and supported the farmers. So in Norway today, we have a huge gap in the level of income for different farmers. And it's partly because the subsidies are different, the production value is different, and so on. While also the way of production has different level of costs. And on the top you might have like all those kind of corn and wheat and all this kind of stuff. And on the bottom you have especially sheep farmers, and you also have what we call nursing cows or something like that. They are on the bottom. So actually this year the government decided to try to lift them a little bit, and there's actually been a lot of positive things politically when it comes to farming the last 2 years. And hopefully we as sheep farmers will have a bit more money coming our way to just try to balance out the differences and make us or help us get closer to actually living as farmer full-time. Because my wife is actually a full-time farmer, but her income is nothing to talk about. It's really just the first 2 years we had more expenses than income. This year we hope we will have a little income, but we are not sure because there are so much maintenance that needs to be done on this farm, so probably we'll get closer to zero, but we'll see. So we're living off my full-time job, which again underlines my message that I would never quit my job because I love it and I'm also dependent on it. I hope that was somewhat a helpful video answering the questions: would I quit my job? No. Would I like to work a little bit less in my full-time job and a bit more on farming? I think so. I'm not 100% sure, but I think so. But the main goal to me is to say that farming is awesome, but it's under pressure, and we need all the help we can get, both financially but also when it comes to support in different ways. So if you'd like to support any way you want it, just give it a thumbs up or subscribe or do whatever. It would really help us out in the long run, and I would love to share more from Totlandgard and the things that we are doing here. And by the way, it's not too bad being a farmer.